Hello, Meg here from I2 Stamping, and welcome to the Friday Flip. So the Friday Flip is where we take one project idea and we flip it into something completely different, keeping what we love and changing what we need to in order to make the card work for us. So let's go ahead and start with our inspiration card. This is one that I recently shared on my blog, and I love all the different texture to it. I love having the polka dots at the bottom and the paper piercing and the raised up flowers and the bling and the ribbon. I love all the different layers and elements. So I wanted to keep that same feel but change it into a Christmas card. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually our paper piercing. And so this will be just like the original card, our inspiration card. I'm going to start with a piece of white cardstock though this time. That's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I'm going to line up the black line of my Essentials paper piercing guide. Just kind of center it on here. That line is at the edge of my cardstock. And then I'm just going to rapidly work my way on down, hitting every hole in that bottom row. And normally with this, I can get into a groove, and then once I'm out of the groove, forget it. Sometimes it'll fly by, like right there, and then I get stuck. Okay, so we're almost done, like 5 more to go. Okay, maybe it was 6. Okay, so we have that. And now that we have that, that's going to tell us how far up we can go with our polka dots and also give us room for our sentiment. So now we're ready to do our stamping. Got pieces here from my last project that I don't need. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our stamping. We've got 2 different stamp sets that we're going to use. We're going to start with the Festival of Trees, and I'm going to be using Wild Wasabi ink, and I need an extra piece of white cardstock. I prefer to just work with one stamp pad open at a time, or else it's just kind of a recipe for disaster. So I'm going to get this tree stamped onto an extra piece of Whisper White. And then the next thing we're going to do is our sentiment. So I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Majig, and I've got the imaging sheet that comes with it, and I have the T. So all you want to do is slide this piece up into that T, take your stamp, ink it up, and make sure you're not using a permanent ink if you're going to be using this imaging sheet. Fit the stamp up into the T, and stamp straight up and down. So now we have ink on here. It's a little bit hard to see, but now you can really see it. Then I can take it over to my card and get it in place where I want it. Take this, fit it back into the corner of my sheet so it's up in that notch again. Take my stamp, flip it over, re-ink, fit it up into the T, and stamp straight up and down. And so I love this Stamp-A-Majig. I love that it's affordable. I love that you can use it over and over again. It's extremely versatile. All right, now we're ready to go into our Real Red. And I'm going to use this extra piece to help me out. So I have a little polka dot, and this is the same one I used on the inspiration card. This is from an older paper pumpkin kit. I'm using Real Red, and I definitely want to go off the edge. That's why I have that cardstock, because if it gets on this mat, it's going to transfer to your other projects. And I don't want to go above my paper pierce line, so it's kind of my guide. And I also don't want to get dots on top of my tree. That would kind of not be good. So I need to be turning this as I go. And then the next step is going to be finishing out our tree. There we go. So for the tree, where is it? Oh, it's always right in front of me. I'm going to take this back in that Real Red and line it up. And I will tell you, normally I lean over it, but I can't, or else all you'll see is the top of my head. So we're hope for the best. I think I got it lined up pretty well. Oh, perfect. All right, good deal. So we're going to close up this ink pad before I get ink where I don't want it, and we're going to start building out our card. So the base for our card is going to be Real Red, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Fold that over, and this piece is going to go on top. Then let's go ahead and layer a piece of red cardstock onto a piece of green. I'm just eyeballing it, but I want the same amount of Wild Wasabi on all sides of the red there. And if this bothers you, just extend your green out more. But I like having the layers overhang like that. Let's add a little bit more adhesive. And I'm doing the same thing now. I just want the same amount of white on all the sides there. And I'm going to go in with the tree punch. That punched out. We're going to grab some dimensionals. 2 ought to do it. And layer this on our card. One more finishing touch and we're done. So I took some of the Whisper White cotton ribbon, tied it in a bow ahead of time using the 10-second bow maker. Put a glue dot, and just like that, our card is done. So let's go ahead and bring in our inspiration card again. Let's see how close we got. So we kept the same basic layout. We changed the flowers into a tree, but we kept a lot of the exact same elements, but it looks like a completely different card. So I hope you enjoyed this week's Friday Flip. If you like the Friday Flip, please be sure to like it below and also be sure to share it with your friends. Make sure that you are signed up for my mailing list over at iteachstamping.com so that you don't miss any of the exclusive projects that I only share with people on that list. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video tutorial. Have a great day.